So very good morning to all of you friends. Thank you for joining this Portfolio Management Professional Application Writing session. In this session, I will help you with every information on how to write a very good PfMP exam application. I'm going to guide you with every element, going to give you lots of tips which are recommended by PMI as a good PfMP application. So let's begin this session. And before we begin the portfolio management application session, let me tell you friends, this portfolio management professional exam is conducted in two evaluation stage. Okay, and both the evaluation stage are really very critical for PfMP certification, for getting the PfMP certified. The first evaluation stage is the panel review. Now, what is this panel review? This is what we will discuss in great detail in next 1 hour time. Only when your first evaluation stage get completed, then you will have to go another evaluation, which is the multiple choice examination. You'll have to sit for an exam which is for 4 hours, and you will be having around 170 multiple choice questions. But that second evaluation stage will begin once your panel review process gets complete, and for that we are meeting today and we are discussing how to write a great application which will be reviewed by PMI approved panelists. They are already PfMP certified and they will evaluate your experience, your portfolio management experience, and they will judge you whether your application meets the portfolio management experience or not. So that's what we will do in this today's session. So let's continue with this first evaluation stage, understand what is this panel review and how will we qualified and how we will clear the PMI panel review. So friends, to clear the PMI panel review process, which is the first evaluation stage, we'll have to submit a PfMP application to PMI. Now, in this today's session, I'm going to help you what is this PfMP application and how to write a PfMP application. You can also download a PfMP handbook from the PMI website, which is pmi.org. The link is also provided on your screen. I'm going to share with you this presentation also post this session, or I can also share with you the downloaded copy of the PfMP handbook. Now this handbook has all the information about how to achieve a PfMP application. Mostly you don't need it because you have taken my PfMP mentoring service, and where I'm going to guide you with every information about this application process, the exam process, and I will support you as each one of you have very rich experience in the portfolio management domain. My job will be to align your practical portfolio management experience with the PMI framework. Now, PMI Portfolio Management Framework is a global standard. It has been researched from many years, and they have developed these standards and this certification since 2014 or something like that period. They have started this certification. Okay. So friends, this handbook, I can also show you what is this PfMP handbook. If you could see, this is the PfMP handbook, which has all the information about the PfMP application, the payment, the audit process, the panel review process, the exam policies, procedures. Okay, I will share this handbook. You can also download it. This is free even if you are not a PMI member. Okay, so I'm going to share this with you, and along with the presentation, along with this recording, once we complete this particular session. Okay, now there are two steps even to clear the panel review. The very first step is once you submit your application to the PMI, first it will go for an audit process. It will go for an audit process where you will submit your application, and their set of PMI audit committee team, which are meant for the PfMP certification audit committee, they're going to review your application and going to verify whether it has all the mandatory and necessary information as per the guideline given by PMI or not. Friends, please remember, once you start the application online, within 90 days, you must submit the application. Okay, and if you're not able to submit the application in 90 days, then your application will be closed and you will have to start the application from the very beginning again. all your data will be lost and it will be treated as another attempt toward the application process. So my request to you, only start the application process once you have all the necessary information with you. Okay, 90 days is a quite a lot time to complete an application, and I think so friends, by next 10 days or maximum by 10 to 15 days we should able to submit our application. Okay, now once you submit your application, within 10 working days you will be getting an email from PMI that your application has been accepted by them. And what does this mean? Your application has been accepted. That means your audit process has been completed. Your application is good to be reviewed by the panel review team. Now you don't have to pay any fees while submitting the application. Only once your application get approved from the audit committee, after that, once you receive the email within 10 working days, then you will have to submit the fees, and only once you submit the fees, then your panel review process will start. Your panel review process will not begin until you have not submitted the PfMP exam fees. Okay, now you could see on my screen for a member, and if you are in US, if you're submitting the application from US or anywhere outside Brazil and India, then the fee remain $800 and 655 euros if you are part of some European country. If you are in India, you'll have to pay 46,338 rupees. Very recently, last 10-15 days back, or maybe let's say within last 1 month only, PMI has made these changes where Brazilian and the Indian professional can pay their membership fee, their exam fees in the local currency. Okay, so your member fee is 46,000, and your non-member fee, if you are submitting your application as non-PMI member, then your exam fees is 77,230 rupees, and your membership fee is hardly around 10,000 rupees, 9,000 to be very precise, somewhere around 9,200 and something like that. So it is always recommended that become a PMI member. Not only you get lots of discount in the exam fees, but there are many other benefits of becoming a PMI member. I'm not going to talk what are the membership benefit, but one benefit I would definitely like to tell you here, that you will able to download the PfMP guide, the Portfolio Management Professional Standard version 3 and version 4 both once you become member in a soft copy manner. And there are many other benefits of becoming a PMI member. You will get discount on your exam fees, and PMI has more than 20-30 practice standards, fundamental standards, and other resources which are rich of knowledge and information. So, whenever you get time, if you want to improve yourself as a professional, there's a risk management framework, there's a business analysis framework, there's a project management framework, there's a program management framework, and there are many other practice standards you can download once you become a PMI member. So this is a little bit about the PfMP exam fees. This is the re-examination fee. Re-examination fee for member is 34,754. By any chance, if you are not able to clear the Portfolio Management Professional Certification exam, if you have to apply one more time, a second attempt, then you will have to again make a fee of 34,754 as an Indian candidate, and $6,000 if you are outside India, and if you are in US, the Middle East, and the other region, the Australia and all those regions. So friends, let's continue. Any question, you can just unmute yourself and you can ask me the question. Now your panel review, as I said, your panel review will start once you make the payment for PfMP certification exam, which is this 46,000 something like, which I just showed you in my last slide. Now what is this panel review? Let me explain you this. Okay, now panel review may take approximately 8 weeks. Okay, it may take more than that also. It depends on how good is your application. Some application gets approved within a week, within 10 days, and some application also take more than 3 months, 4 months also. So it is very important to put a great application for the panel review process. And that is what we will discuss today, that how to write this portfolio management application. Now panel review, there is no phone call will be made to you or there will be no personal interview. Once you submit your application and after your application has been accepted from the audit process, then PMI, and once you make this payment toward your exam and toward this application, whatever you call it, then your application will be given to some panelist, and then they will evaluate based on your submitted application whether you really have a portfolio management experience or not. Okay, it may happen that the very first person may approve your application, or it may happen that the first person may not able to understand, he may pass on to the second person, to the third person, and the process may continue, and in that situation it may take more than 2 months, even 3 months also to get your application approved. Okay, so there is minimum, PMI says minimum 8 weeks you should wait before you make any follow up with PMI. And you should make your mind very clear that it should roughly take 8 weeks or almost 60 days. That's what PMI says. That's their SLA to respond to you on your application. So please do not make any follow up with PMI until this 8 weeks or roughly around 60 days gets over. Okay, now if you have a really good application, then I'm sure within a month time or even within a week or 2 week time, your application will get approved and you will be given an eligibility code which will be required for you to schedule your second evaluation stage, which is the PfMP actual exam. Okay, now this exam is still, you'll have to visit the PMI exam service provider, which is Pearson VUE. Pearson VUE is the PMI exam vendor, you can call it. In every, now one good part is we have lots of Pearson VUE what you can call exam centers in every cities, if in India, in US and so on. And I hope very soon PMI may also conduct this exam using remote proctored. That means rather than personally visiting the Pearson VUE or any exam hall, you can take the exam from your home or from your office or your any convenient place. Now already PMI has 8 certification, total 8 certification PMI has, and out of 8, four certification are already you can take in a remote proctored manner. Remote proctored basically means still there will be somebody monitoring you when you giving exam from your home. Your camera should be on, you should have very empty and clean room, and so it will be practically like a going and giving exam from at a Pearson VUE, but only thing, people will be not physically monitoring you, they will be virtually monitoring you using your camera, using your mic and other other modes you can say. So but when the exam will go online, that still I can't tell you because PMI has still not but definitely PMI has said that they going to make this exam also an online exam, a remote proctored exam. So that is what assurance I can give you. It may happen within a week or it may happen within month, 2 months, or it may take more time also. Any question, friends, before we move forward? Okay, great. So let's begin. What is the eligibility criteria? We will now talk about the eligibility criteria. So friends, let's talk about the educational background first, then we will talk about the business experience, and then we will talk about the portfolio management experience. Okay, so friends, if you have secondary diploma or if you have associate degree, that means, let's put it in a simple term, if you do not have bachelor degree or a master degree, your professional business experience will remain same in all the condition. The business experience will remain for 96 months, which is 8 years. 12 multiplied by 8 is 96 months. So you'll have to provide 96 months, 8 years of business experience in all the 3 conditions. Either you are having a diploma rather than a degree, or even if you have a degree, then also your business experience will remain same. Now what is the key difference is, if you do not have a bachelor degree or above, then you will have to demonstrate 84 months, which is 7 years. Again, 12 multiplied by 7 is 84 months. So if you are just a diploma holder and you do not have a degree, then you will have to demonstrate 7 years portfolio management experience. But if you have a 4 year of degree, bachelor degree, then you will have to show only 48 month of portfolio management experience, which is 4 year. 12 multiplied by 4 is 48. Now, you may have a question that in some of the countries, especially in India, we have 3 year bachelor degree. That 3 year bachelor degree is accepted by PMI. Okay, so if you have a bachelor degree, then still you will fall under this category. You'll have to demonstrate 4 years of portfolio management experience. Now there is another category where PMI has some GAC accredited program. This is the PMI, you can call some university who take PMI curriculum and PMI framework and they teach in their universities, in their colleges. If you have any bachelor degree from this PMI affiliated or PMI recognized, they call it GAC accredited program, then you will require only 3 years of portfolio management experience. Okay, one more thing which I would like to tell you, friends. Most of us, we will fall in the second category. Now this 4 years of portfolio experience can also be counted as your business experience. Now what I'm trying to explain you here, friends, that when you putting your business experience of 8 years, so the same 4 year which you are putting as part of your portfolio experience, the same 4 year you can also put as part of your business experience as well. Okay, so that means you can say if you have roughly around 8 years of career experience or a professional experience, and in which 8 years you have worked 4 years as a portfolio management professional, then you are still qualified for a PfMP certification. So that means overall 8 years of experience is sufficient, in which 4 years out of, because as a portfolio manager or as a portfolio management, that is also counted as your business, because portfolio management is also aligned to deliver the business value for the organization. Any question here, friend? Any question, anybody? Hello. Okay. Yeah, please go ahead, friends. Hello. Okay, so let's continue if there's no question. Now, what is this professional business experience? Now, professional business experience. Now, many people ask me a question, then what should be my designation to demonstrate business experience? So, as part of this 8 years of business experience, designation could be project manager, a program manager, or a portfolio manager, or even a sales manager, HR manager, any working experience at any function, because every initiative in your organization is aligned toward business experience. So you do not have to be holding a business analyst position or a business change manager position or any title which something happened. How old business experience which I can demonstrate as part of my application. Okay, as I already said, your 4 years of portfolio experience, which we're going to demonstrate as part of portfolio management experience, that can also be counted as your business experience of 4 years. So that means 4 years of portfolio experience and any other 4 years before this portfolio management experience or after portfolio management experience can be counted as your business experience. So your business experience can be either before or after your portfolio experience, and the same 4 year portfolio experience can also be business experience, that all such combination are accepted. As I said, you will have to demonstrate, if you have a bachelor degree, you will have to demonstrate 48 months of portfolio management experience, and if you do not have bachelor degree, then you will have to demonstrate 84 months of portfolio management experience. The same thing is repeated here. Your portfolio management experience should be within 15 years, last 15 years. But in that also, how to calculate the last 15 years? It is not from today when you're submitting your application. Suppose you're submitting your application in the month of September 2020, then it should not be your portfolio management experience, rather finish in last 15 years. That means even if you say, let's say an example, if you want to demonstrate an experience somewhere from 2002 or 2003, and if it is finishing in last 15 years, so let's say you're submitting your application from 2004 to 2008, so that is acceptable, because that It is finishing in last 15 years. I hope I have made it clear and you have understood it. So this 15-year time frame is only for your portfolio experience. Your business experience can be as much backdated as possible. There is no constraints out there. Even your portfolio experience must finish in last 15 years. That is what PMI want. Yeah. Your portfolio experience cannot finish before 15 years. So let's say today 2020, you can't say your portfolio experience is from, finishing before 2004, because 15 years means at least 2005 to 2000, plus 15, 2020. It should be finishing roughly from after 2005 or something like that period. Friends, you can ask any questions if you have.
Hello, sir. Yes, Swapnil here.
Yeah, yes, Swapnil, please go ahead.
So I have a query. Sorry, there was some audio setting issue. So can you in the second slide before this, the where you had mentioned about qualification of bachelor's degree and master's degree. So I have a 5 years program. Okay, my master's degree is 10 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2. So I think that is okay with PMI. Just wanted to confirm that.
Absolutely. Any bachelor degree or master degree is qualified for that 48 month of experience. Okay, that's what I said. If you have a bachelor degree or above, like if you're a bachelor degree, master degree, or a doctorate degree, you have to still show 48 month of experience.
Okay.
If you do not have a bachelor degree, or if you only a diploma, then you have to show 84 months, which is 7 years of portfolio management experience.
Okay, fine. Yeah, thank you.
Now, thank you for asking this question. Now, friends, remember this 48 month should be non-overlapping experience. Now, what do you mean by non-overlapping? See, many people say, can I say 48 month within last 2 years? Because I did in 3 portfolio together, and all the 3 portfolio was running between 2018 to 2020. So that means it is still counted as 2018 to 2020, only 24 month. Even if it may be possible that you may be simultaneously working on more than one portfolio, and every portfolio may be running for more than 12 months or 15 months. But the actual calendar month should be unique. Let's take this example. Consider you have portfolio 1, which is starting from January till April, and portfolio 2 starting from February to June. So you can't show this portfolio as 4 months and this portfolio as 4 months. No. So total how many months? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will be only 6 months will be counted as your portfolio management experience instead of 8 months. So this period between what is February, okay, and this period, they are the overlapping period, you can say. So friends, you can show portfolio starting together. Both you are doing 2 portfolio, both portfolio, first portfolio starting from let's say January 2016 and finishing, suppose let's say December 2018. Second portfolio may start let's say from 2017 to 2020. Okay, so if this overlap, both portfolio can run parallel, but total month should be 48 month. Okay, so January, let's say by December 2020. Now this is still applicable. So two portfolio can run parallelly, but your experience will not be counted. Overlapping month will not be counted as your experience. Okay, I hope I have made it clear.
Sir, can I ask one query?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so I want to be a bit specific here. So for example, in pharma, I'm in pharmaceutical industry, right? So, okay, in pharma, let's say I have total of 13 years of experience in my case, right? And for last 3 years, I'm handling product portfolio. It's a part of business in which wherein we drive the product portfolio for a generic industry, right? And prior to that, I was into core patent field. So there we were driving patent portfolio. So that patent portfolio is also under portfolio. I mean, what is the definition of portfolio as per PMI? To be very precise, my query is, what is the definition of portfolio? Is it product portfolio, or is it process portfolio, or it is, suppose I have patent experience from 2006 to 2000, let's say 17, and after that I'm in core portfolio, product portfolio. So that prior experience which is in patent, but they also handle the patent portfolio. So will that also be counted as portfolio?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a very good question which you have asked. What is the PMI definition of portfolio? Okay, see, the portfolio management is more about managing organization strategy and the organization objectives. So if your patent portfolio is aligned to the organization strategic goals and objectives, then you are a portfolio manager. Your title, just go on mute, please. There's lots of noise. Thank you. So if whatever deliverables you are doing at any role, if your experience is aligned to the organizational strategic goals and objective, and if you are performing many other portfolio management activities, which we will discuss further in some time when we will review some of these questions. So if you're performing a portfolio management activities, and if those activities are aligned to the organization's strategic objectives, then any role, either if you are doing a finance role, account role, or any patent or any product, any process, any service, any research, any work you're doing, that's absolutely fine, and that is qualified as a portfolio management experience, provided you're following the PMI portfolio management activities. And that's what we're going to discuss in this application also, and also in my training session later. I hope I have made it clear to you, friends.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Great. Now what I will do now is I will run you through the online application. Now you have to log into pmi.org, which is the PMI web portal, and then you have to log in with your credentials. In My PMI, you will see your dashboard and so on. So friends, I have just created a dummy login just to explain, because with my original login, I'm already PfMP certified and I can't show you how this application look like. So I have just created a dummy login to explain you how does this application look like, and whatever we have discussed, how to fill this application online, that is what I'm going to explain you now. So here you will see in your My PMI login, you will see your application. So this is a PfMP application. Let's start working on this application. It's a very simple form. Thankfully, PMI has done lots of good in recent past. They have really made this form very, very simple now. Earlier, this form has lots of information where PMI used to ask what you can call number of hours of portfolio management experience, your manager contact detail, and many other information, but everything has been removed now. There are 4 simple forms which you can see on my screen: your education background, your portfolio experience, and your experience summaries, and just exam details. So very simple form. So here you will have to say whether you have associate degree, bachelor degree, master degree, or a doctorate. If you say associate degree, secondary degree, then you will have to show, as I said, 84 months of portfolio management experience. But if you show bachelor degree or master degree, then you will have to show only 48 months of portfolio experience. The business experience in every condition will remain same, whether you have associate degree or whether you have a bachelor degree, whether you're you have done your education from PMI GAC approved universities or education institution. So the business experience will remain for that 96 months in every condition. So what I'm saying, let's say from 2013 to 2019, just an example, I'm putting my background, India. Name of the institution, you can just say, okay, IIT Mumbai. Okay, consider I have done my bachelor degree from Indian Institute of Technology, and my field of study, suppose, is, you can say, computer science. It could be anything. Now you can save this education. Okay, so now your education has been, you just say continue to experience. So because you have said you have a bachelor degree, it's showing 48 months of portfolio experience. Now here, this is very important. You'll have to put your portfolio title. What is your portfolio title? Portfolio title means what is the name of your portfolio. Let's say you're doing a telecom portfolio or some patent portfolio, pharma portfolio, or you're doing any software portfolio. So that is the name of the portfolio. Let's say data center migration or cloud, cloud service implementation. That could be any name. You can put it into your portfolio title. Okay, let's say, for example, cloud service You can also say AWS cloud service or Google cloud service implementation, something like that. This is just the name of your portfolio. Your organization, whichever organization you currently working in, let's say you currently working with Google, you just say Google, whatever your organization name, your job title, and this is your job title. You could be a chief executive officer, you could be a sales officer, you could be a finance officer. So this is not your portfolio. It should not be only portfolio. Whatever is your job title, that's absolutely fine. Even if you're putting as a portfolio manager, that's absolutely fine. Okay, nobody going to ask you your appointment letter, that please produce your appointment letter, whether your job title is actually matching. What is more important is whether you, I'm really sorry, how to write a great experience summary. The third form, that is more important. This is mostly a formality. So any job title should be fine, but you can put portfolio manager, that will be, better. What I will tell you, your functional area, whether you are from HR department, finance department, because portfolio could be a functional portfolio. Functional portfolio means you may be doing as a finance head, you may be CFO, so you may be from a finance function, because finance is also a portfolio, HR is a portfolio, and entire organization is also a portfolio. And friends, this certification is normally called project portfolio management within the finance department also, or let's say within the IT department also. If you're working in a technology department and if you're doing any cloud migration portfolio, it need not to be an entire functional portfolio. If you're only doing one project as a cloud project, for every project, that's what this standard is called, project portfolio management. Project portfolio management basically means this cloud migration project, what is the strategy behind it? See, you are not a project manager, you are still a portfolio manager. Under the cloud service implementation, there will be multiple project manager, program manager, operations team will report to you. Operations team who will do day-to-day cloud maintenance and configuration and upkeep of the cloud servers and so on. There will be multiple projects and program manager who will perform multiple component work. Your role in the cloud migration project will be as a portfolio manager only. I hope you are with me and you are able to understand. So it is not necessary that you have to be a chief technology officer or chief financial officer. Even in the technology department, you can have multiple software portfolio, hardware portfolio, data center portfolio, compliance portfolio in your IT department. And you may be heading one, let's say, infrastructure or data center portfolio, and you may be reporting directly to a CTO or maybe one level below. But that entire, you are managing the profit and loss, you are managing the the entire strategy behind that cloud, particular cloud, cloud or a data center, that you still qualified for a portfolio manager. Yeah, your organization primary focus, it could be, you could be security, armed forces, financial services, energy, anything you can pick up from here, the different, or you can also say none or unemployed or others, anything will be, let's say pharmaceutical. The number of projects and program in the portfolio, this you can put any number, 3, 4, 5, 10. So these projects and program, so friends, these projects and program are called component of a portfolio. As a portfolio manager, there will be multiple projects and program manager and the operations team who will be IT operations team who will be managing the day-to-day technology operations. They will be reporting to you. Your portfolio size could be, you have to pick up 1 million to 5 million, 5 million to 10 million, whatever you know best. You don't have to go and ask your finance team. You don't have to go and ask your CTO if you are from the IT department. Whatever you have best of your knowledge and best of your experience, you can select as a portfolio size. Now this is the start date of the portfolio. Let's say from February it starts from 2014, and you can say it is still there in progress, because portfolio is continuous. Portfolio life cycle do not have any closure date. Just like project and program life cycle has a closure phase, a portfolio life cycle, which we will discuss more in the training, a portfolio is an ongoing initiative in an organization. So we will talk about the portfolio life cycle when we will meet in our training. In that portfolio life cycle, you will see there is an initiation phase, planning phase, execution phase, optimization phase, operations phase, but there is no predefined closure phase. Of course, there are situations where maybe your cloud portfolio may get terminated, or maybe some hardware portfolio or any product portfolio which organization do not want to continue, but you don't define the closure phase or the closure timeline upfront, because portfolio management means continuously delivering business value which is derived from the organization's strategic goals and objective. So as a portfolio manager, you should continuously work toward ensuring that whatever portfolio management you are doing, that should continuously delivering the value for the organization. Okay, now friends, this part is very important part, portfolio summary. Okay, now in this portfolio summary, you will have to provide what is the portfolio you are working on. Remember friends, as a panel reviewer, for a time being, just assume I'm your panel reviewer. Now what you should do is you should write a portfolio background. This is also you can call portfolio background information, that what is this portfolio is all about. See, maximum word you can write here will be 500 words and minimum is 200 words. A good portfolio background, but I will request go as close to 500 words. The more you write and you explain about your background, the panel reviewer will better able to understand your portfolio and your experience of the portfolio. Okay, if you just write 50 words, 100 words, then the panel reviewer will not able to understand and judge your portfolio experience, and it may take time to clear your application or it may get rejected also. So maximum 500 words, minimum is 200 to 300. PMI saying in the PfMP handbook, which I told you, it's saying as per the PMI expectation is minimum 300. Okay, now how to write a portfolio background? So you start with little bit about which is the current organization you're working and what is the though it is already saying you are working as a pharma background and your organization name also is coming, but you can just write you as a organization background, your current organization background, but this should be not more than 2 to 3 lines. You can just say I work for Google. Google is a IT consulting or maybe search engine company. Little bit about background you could definitely write. Okay, then here next part what you have to do is you will have to write about the current problems. Okay, next.
Sir, can you please repeat? Can you please repeat about the current problem thing? I couldn't hear you. I think there was some disturbance.
Yeah. I'm just explaining you again here.
Yes.
Then you can write maybe little bit about background. What is the business need? Business need is nothing but the problems or opportunities. In this portfolio, what are the problems you are trying to address, or what are the opportunities you are trying to exploit? Let's say if you're doing a cloud, currently you may be having a traditional data center which may be having scalability issues, which may having frequent failure. So what are those current problems which this portfolio is trying to address? Okay, if you consider there is no problem at all, it is a new product you are launching, you have a new opportunity in the market, so you write it down a little bit about that. So give a background after the organization saying that there was an opportunity, there all other organization cloud or a new technology was emerging. Because of the emerging technology, your organization is a technology company and competent. Because of your competency, this portfolio was trying to exploit all the opportunities. So write it down some bullet points that what are the current problems or opportunities either your current organization is facing, or you may be doing some portfolio management work which is primary trigger of that is maybe from a customer. Let's say you have a customer, you have some solution given to them and the current solution having lots of problem, and you want to deliver a new solution to them which will address the current problem. So business need is nothing but called problem or opportunity statement. Okay, then you can also write then briefly about portfolio scope, or you can also call portfolio scope or portfolio solution. And what is the scope of your portfolio, or what is the solution scope you can call, or you can also call portfolio scope. Let's say you can also call it either a solution scope or a portfolio scope. That if you have some problem, then what kind of portfolio you are doing which will address the problem or which will address the opportunities. Karthik, are you with me? You able to understand what I'm trying to explain here?
Yeah, Kailash.
So portfolio solution basically means, see, once you have a problem, you have to give a background that what kind of work you're going to perform in this particular portfolio which will solve these problems or which will able to address the opportunities which you have. Okay. And you can also write portfolio goals and objectives. The goals are very subjective statement. Objectives are more quantifiable. We can also call SMART objectives. SMART objective basically means specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. Because after giving the scope, some quantity. How will as a portfolio sponsor or portfolio executive committee or steering committee going to measure whether the portfolio is delivering the value or not? So the objective, quantifiable objective or smart objective basically means, and these objectives are actually derived from your business need only. Your objective should be, should see if there's some problem of downtime, so your objective could be ensure a solution at 100% uptime. That could be one of the objectives. Or generating revenue more than 20% from the current customer. I hope you're getting me. These objectives should be quantifiable, through which we will judge whether the portfolio is successful or not, or should we continue to invest in the portfolio or not.
Hello, Kailash. I have a query.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So when you say the objectives, goals, and quantifiable thing, so we don't have any issue in writing numbers and some open statements. But is it mandatory to disclose the specific product names and also, or we can just write product 1, 2, 3? Because sometimes things are very they are not bound to be disclosed as a part of company strategy. So is it something like we need to disclose the name, or like some common terms will also work?
Name of your customer, you're saying?
Name of product, for example, I'm working on, let's say, 25 product portfolio currently I'm managing, right? But I don't want to disclose the name. So is that okay?
You can just write any name. See, PMI, you can just write any name which may be generic name, which everybody, see, if you write some name like that way, see, nobody knows about it. You can paraphrase the name.
Okay.
Paraphrase the name basically means if you're working on some key medicine or something, you can just change the name so that, as a panel reviewer, we're able to understand that what are you talking about. You getting me what I'm saying here, Praveen?
Yes, I'm getting you. So for example, I made a statement like for example, I'm putting my application and I made a statement like currently I'm managing brand and generic portfolio of at least 60 products, wherein I'm creating, monitoring, and generating the portfolio for in line with the company strategy, right? And then I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 products. Will that work?
Yeah, absolutely. See, anyhow, the panel review person don't know the exact name, which you saying is very sensitive, which is very, very, so nobody knows. Nobody going to ask you, no, this is not the name. Because, so what I'm saying, see, as a panel reviewer, more important is we need to know what is the portfolio working. You can just change the name, whatever name it comes, even your customer name also you can change, or you can write XYZ also. Absolutely fine.
Okay. Thanks, Kailash.
Yeah, great. But remember, friends, try to explain this portfolio goals and objective, that why the portfolio has started. In fact, these goals and objective, this is the very reason this portfolio got chartered in your organization, or this got initiated in your organization. And if you write very generic goals and objective, that will become, we will not able to measure it, quantify. So goals are actually generic, but you have to write few generic goals that this is the overall goal to improve the this particular thing, that particular thing. But then how you going to do more quantitatively, that should be there in the objective. Okay, then you can also write after that your portfolio role. What was your role in the portfolio? That you can say you are a portfolio manager and your role was to understand the organization strategy, understand the current problem and opportunities, define a solution which will meet the portfolio goals and objective. So that is what you should write briefly your role. So this is roughly a structure of your, if there is a customer, then you can also write brief about your customer also. Customer organization, that can also come. Consider you are doing you have some customer and you already have given some solution to your customer. Okay. And that solution having some problems. So who is that customer? And then you can write those problems the customer are facing. You can club this point and this customer point together also. If it is the portfolio, many times, as you know, you start some new initiative because your current customer are facing problem. But it could also be a process improvement portfolio also. It can also be a process improvement that you as a portfolio manager, you going to redesign your organization business processes. That could be your portfolio. But you have to write what are the current problem with your current processes. What are the impact on the business because of the current challenges with the current processes. I hope you're able to understand it. Okay, so that is very, very important to describe, right? In a simple language, try to give a, don't use some jargons or some, short form, many people write SOP, SRS, like functional requirement specification or software requirement specification. Try to explain as much as possible because the panel reviewer may not understand some of these jargons and so on. Okay, so this is what we want now. If you see, we will not be able to save unless from this. Okay, we'll save this. Portfolio experience, you can start also, but that's only one portfolio. That's in more than one portfolio background only, so that will make your effort easy. But if you're not working in your current organization for more than 4 years, then you can go to organization, but don't show 3 to 4 portfolio, because for every portfolio you have to describe in that much detail. Yeah, any question, anybody? Now you can edit your experience also. Okay, anytime you can make any changes and all those things, you can make it here. Okay. Now let's talk about the business experience. Now business experience, again, business experience title, this could be any project which you have performed, that any project name you can put it here. Again, which organization which you worked, which you are showing as a business experience. You can be again from the same organization. What is your job title? You can put your job title here. You can be a project manager as showing a business experience. Again, your functional background. So we will not put much effort. Let's say this could be, as I said, this can go, let's say from 2002 to, let's say, just I'm picking some random number to 2015. You can just save. Okay, you can write, add additional experience also and all those things, but this now qualifies your business experience also. So 96 months of business experience and 48 months of portfolio experience. In a business experience, you do not have to write any detail. You will have to just put your under which project you have that business experience. You don't have to provide any internal detail, just like the portfolio background, that you don't have to provide. Okay. Any question here, Mr. Satya?
No, Kailash, I'm good.
Yeah. Now this is the most experienced part now, the experience summary. The experience summary, now friends, in the portfolio management standard, we have 5 domains. The 5 domain, each of the domain you will have to write your experience. What are the 5 domain? The 5 domain are strategic alignment, portfolio governance, portfolio performance management, portfolio risk management, and portfolio communication management. Now, in each of the 5 domain, you have 2 options. You need to pick up one of the option and you need to write your experience. Now, this is the most important section. Only this part and your portfolio background part will go to the panel review team. So here you will actually have to write your strategic experience, your portfolio governance experience, portfolio performance management experience, risk management experience, and the communication management experience. And based on these 5 experience summaries, your first evaluation stage will be approved or rejected. Your panel review decision will be taken. Now here, if you have more than one portfolio, then you will have to pick up that for which this strategic alignment experience summary is aligned to which portfolio. Right now we have only one portfolio, so it is only one name is coming here. But if you will have more than one portfolio, then all the name will come, you will pick up that this strategic alignment experience summary is mapped to which portfolio. So friends, what I'm trying to tell you, even if you have 2 portfolio, 3 portfolio, your experience summary, okay, you will have to write only once. Okay, strategic alignment one time, governance one time, performance management, portfolio performance management, and risk management and communication management. Any question again? I hope I have made it clear. Even if you have more than one portfolio, you do not have to write your experience summary for each of the portfolio. You will have to, because as a panel review, we just want to see your strategic alignment experience. Even if for just one portfolio, that's absolutely fine. Now, identify and prioritize portfolio criteria and evaluate portfolio component priorities based on the organization's strategic goals and objectives. But this is the question they have asked you, and you will have to write that how did you identify and how did you prioritize the portfolio criteria, okay? And how did you evaluate the portfolio component based on these portfolio criteria, okay? So portfolios, these are, you can call, what are the portfolio criteria basis which you will select the portfolio in your function, basis which the portfolio will get even approved, your strategic plan will get approved. So what are those criteria and how did you identify? The most important part in this experience summary is, so this is called experience summary statement. So if you're saying I have following criteria basis which your portfolio sponsor will approve your portfolio strategy and will charter your portfolio, then how did you define those criteria and how did you prioritize those criteria? Because you may have more than 10 criteria, then which criteria is most important? how did you define the priority of each criteria? And once you have defined the criteria and prioritize the criteria, how did you evaluate the portfolio component? What do you mean by portfolio component? Portfolio component basically means the various projects and programs, how these components are evaluated based on these criteria. That is what we need to write it here. So you have to give relevant example, try to give some practical criteria from the actual portfolio which you are going to demonstrate. Remember, this experience summary should be aligned to your portfolio. It can't be generic. You can't say I identify these criteria, that criteria. It has to be very much, which is from your actual portfolio. And your experience that you did multiple brainstorming meeting, focus group meeting, personal interview, or you did market study, you did benchmarking, you did competitor analysis. How did you define these criteria? And remember, these criteria you will have to discuss with your portfolio stakeholder. As a portfolio manager, you can't unilaterally say, okay, these are the criteria, these are the prioritized criteria. Have you did a collaboration with your stakeholder? Which stakeholder were involved in defining the criteria, identifying the criteria? What are the challenges did you find while defining the criteria, while prioritizing the criteria? And how did you align all the stakeholder into common goal? That is what is important here. So you experience that. What are the various techniques which you used? Who are your stakeholders with whom you collaborated? And after the criteria has been defined and agreed by the stakeholder, then how did you identify the component, the portfolio projects and program and the ongoing work? How did you prioritize those projects and program within your portfolio based on these approved criteria? That is what should be coming in your experience summary. One more thing, friends, remember your experience summary should be first person. What you did it, that is more important. You don't write my team did, the PMO did, the sponsor did, but customer gave us the criteria. Even if customer can have the lots of weightage in defining these criteria, prioritizing the criteria, but what was your role when you are selecting these criteria? That is what should reflect very clearly in your experience summary. So write your experience summary as a first person. And if you could see, all of this experience summary is written in the past tense, identified and prioritized, created or updated. Can you see it is written in the past tense? So response should also be in the past tense. You can't say I'm going to do it or I am doing it. You should say I did this, I did that to define the criteria, to prioritize the criteria. So response should also be written in the past tense only. Okay. Ensure you write a proper grammatically correct application. That's a very important point. If you read the handbook, it is very clearly written in your handbook. Give example, use proper grammar, proper full stop, comma, and so on. This option, if you can pick up any one of the option and you can write it. Now, how did you created the portfolio roadmap based on the organization's strategic goals and objectives? So I hope you know what is roadmap. Roadmap is a chronological event which has all the major milestone of your portfolio. How did you created the roadmap? And this roadmap will help you deliver the organization goals and objective. Whatever is your, portfolio goals and objective, which are derived from this organization goals and objective. So how did you created the roadmap which had all the portfolio goals and objective defined in the roadmap? What are the tools which you use to define the roadmap? Who are the stakeholders who involved in the roadmap, and why the roadmap got updated? So you can say maybe some new opportunity, maybe because of some current challenges, a roadmap may, whatever the reason your portfolio roadmap got updated, that is what we would like to see here in your experience summary. So give a reason that either because of some political change, social change, economical change, any environmental factor which may have impact on your portfolio deliverable, and because of which you will have to adjust your portfolio milestone. That is what I would like to see as a panel reviewer in your experience summary. Yeah. Same thing with governance. Again, pick up any one option. You don't have to write both the options, only one option. For only one portfolio. Even if you have more than one portfolio, your experience summary should be only once. You don't have to write this experience summary for every portfolio. You don't have to write that. For any portfolio, see, as a panel reviewer, we going to evaluate you whether you have the portfolio governance experience or not. So what is the governance? See, governance basically means decision making. Who has the decision making, defining the roles and responsibility, defining the phase gate review, periodic portfolio health check review, defining quality focus, defining the audits, defining the portfolio processes, defining the escalation processes. So those are called governance. See, this governance is ongoing. How will you govern your portfolio? That experience we would like to see here. Yeah. So let's understand the question. Again, this question is also written in the past tense. How do you define and implement the governance framework? So what was your governance model or governance framework, whatever you call it, as part of your portfolio governance? See, you need a good governance model or governance framework which will help you deliver the portfolio value. And if you do not have any governance model or a framework, then you will try to take, actions after you're facing problems. So governance is done for more proactive monitoring and proactive controlling of the portfolio goals and objectives. So what will you do? Of course, the primary focus of the governance is proactively managing the portfolio risk, managing the portfolio changes, managing the quality, defining the various roles and responsibility, defining the phase gear review. So that is what we would like to see as part of your governance framework. And what was your framework by which your portfolio was governed throughout its life cycle? This option implemented and enhanced the governance aspect of portfolio management plan in support of portfolio goals and objectives. Now, if you're picking up this, so how did you implement it and enhance the governance aspect of portfolio management plan? So friends, portfolio management plan will finally define your portfolio framework. Your high level governance framework or will be there into the even your portfolio charter, but your final, which you can call baseline version of the governance framework, will be part of the portfolio management plan. And portfolio management plan is also, when we will do the training, I will explain you how this portfolio management plan, because this is the plan which will have all the target value, what is the portfolio goals and objectives, how your portfolio management plan will have, how you're going to manage the portfolio risk, how you're going to manage the portfolio changes, how you're going to manage the portfolio communication, how you're going to manage the portfolio performance. So that is what we would like to see. How did you implement the portfolio management plan once it got approved from your sponsor, and how did you enhance this portfolio management plan in support of portfolio goals and objectives? So during the planning phase of the portfolio, you will develop the portfolio management plan, and this portfolio management plan will do governance of rest of the portfolio life cycle from the portfolio manager perspective. Of course, your steering committee sponsor, they may refer the portfolio charter or portfolio strategy, but as a portfolio manager, you will do portfolio governance, you will do portfolio review basis this plan only. So what was, how did you implemented the plan? How did you enhance this plan, which helped you continuously align your portfolio goals and objective and deliver the portfolio goals and objective? That is what we would like to see here. Again, this also should be maximum 500 words, minimum 300 words. Same thing goes with the portfolio performance management. What are they? Now, again, two options given, same, you need to pick up which. One more thing I would like to tell you, even if you have more than one portfolio, all the 5 experience summary can still be aligned to one single portfolio. That will be absolutely fine. See what I'm trying to tell you, suppose you have 3 portfolio which you have mentioned, because you do not have continuously 4 years of portfolio experience in any of the organization, and just to meet that 4-year 48-month of portfolio background, you have demonstrated 3 portfolio of your 3 organizations. Even in that case, even if you have more than 3 portfolio or 3 portfolio, 2 portfolio, your experience summary, each of the 5 experience summary can be aligned to one single portfolio, or it could be aligned to any of the portfolio which you have mentioned. Now, portfolio performance management. This is the experience summary. So, managed portfolio performance to optimize portfolio effectiveness and efficiency. So, how do you manage the portfolio performance, which help you optimize the portfolio value, or which help you to optimize the portfolio effectiveness? So, how do you manage the resource utilization? How do you manage the revenue? How do you manage the expenses? How do you reduce the expenses? That is what we would like to see here. Remember, friend, right? Again, I will repeat good examples from your portfolio, because performance management is very important. After your portfolio plan has been approved, so what you did as a portfolio manager to manage the portfolio performance, what actions did you took to optimize the portfolio effectiveness, to optimize the portfolio goals and objective? How did you identify this, optimization? What are the conditions which helped you to optimize? How did you identify that? That is what with an example we would like to see here as a panel reviewer. Now, performance management basically means proactively monitoring the portfolio component interdependencies, all the component, performing the portfolio component governance, because as a portfolio manager you will have governance responsibility toward your portfolio components. Which tools and technique did you follow? Is any like earned value management? Have you performed some earned value management which you may have done in a PMP, or any trend analysis? Did any, what kind of review meeting you did to evaluate the portfolio performance? How did you manage the customer expectations, and how did you continuously share the portfolio performance with the stakeholder? That is what we would like to see in this experience summary. Focus on these 3 points. What you did to manage resource utilization. How did you manage the portfolio demand and supply? What was the resource demand? What was the resource supply? How did you optimize the resource? How did you generate more revenue? How did you enhance the revenue? How did you reduce the expenses, the portfolio cost in the current portfolio which you are selecting or which you are referencing? That is what we would like to say. We would like to see here in this experience summary. Similar way, option B or this option, evaluated continuous progress toward the achievement of the business or strategic goals through measurement of the portfolio value. Now again, continuous progress. How did you continuously evaluate the portfolio progress? What are the portfolio goals and objectives which were defined as part of the portfolio management plan? How you evaluated the continuous portfolio, by again doing reviews with your customer, multiple meeting with your stakeholders, maybe support from your PMO team, by continuously analyzing the environmental condition, the environmental factors. So you'll have to write this experience summary here. Friends, please write a small paragraph. Do not write one single paragraph. See, if you write a small paragraph, it is very easy for us to read as a panel reviewer. See that your statements, you should able to understand. Before submitting even this application to me, please read it yourself once or twice. See that many times we just submit it and that it takes time for review and unnecessary 2-3 iteration which I will have to do for you to really make it good application. Let's quickly review the risk management task also. There are 2 questions or 2 tasks, whatever you call. Define and enhance the portfolio risk strategy, including risk tolerance. So what was your risk strategy? What was your organization risk tolerance, which are based on the portfolio goals and objectives? So risk strategy could be, how did you define, what is your risk management model, you can call risk management strategy? How did you identify the risk owner? What tools and technique did you identify, okay, as part of the risk management framework? What are the organization risk tolerance? Okay, what the risk tolerance for all the type of risk is same. Financial risk tolerance could be different. Technical risk tolerance could be different. Okay, so in this experience summary, we want to see your risk management framework. How did you define the risk strategy or risk model or risk framework, whatever you call, along with risk tolerance, which will help you to achieve your portfolio goals and objectives? Because if you do not have very good risk management framework, so you can say risk management was an agenda item in every steering committee meeting, phase gate review meeting, and periodic portfolio review meeting. You also ensure risk management is taken seriously by your component manager also. So try to explain a model that which will help you manage the portfolio risk. This option, if you're selecting, enabled the organization to capitalize on opportunity or manage threat. So again, this is like same option. How do you enable your organization to capitalize on new opportunities? So what was your, again, risk model through which, how did you identify the new opportunity? What was your model that you will identify the new opportunity, or how will you manage the threat? Again, by defining the risk ownership, again by defining the risk threshold, again by doing multiple training, continuously sharing the portfolio information, aligning the stakeholder with the portfolio goals and objective, So all those things will be again part of which will help you manage the threat. Threat means negative risk and opportunity means positive risk. Okay, let's go on to the communication management part. Here, if you're selecting developed and updated a portfolio communication strategy. So what was your communication strategy? How do you develop the communication strategy? So remember, how part should be very clear, because so friends, the communication strategy will help your stakeholder track the portfolio progress, define the portfolio success criteria. So what was your strategy, communication strategy, to ensure your stakeholder are supporter of your portfolio? They help you identify new opportunity. They help you manage the threat. Who are your key stakeholder? Try to give example of actual stakeholder in your portfolio. Why they were stakeholder? What was their expectations? How do you manage their expectations? Which will help you support effective decision making. Because if you have a stakeholder support, you will able to take better informed decision. So what was your strategy to engage the stakeholder, to foster the relationship with the stakeholder? You will have to share your portfolio goals and objectives frequently, portfolio performance reporting frequently. Anytime you're making some changes because of some strategic changes, how will you communicate it to them? How will you listen to stakeholder concerns? That is also strategy. If any stakeholder has some concerns or if stakeholder has some new opportunity, how will they communicate with you as a portfolio manager in your portfolio? That strategy we would like to see here. And this option is engage stakeholder to set and manage expectations and influence the success of the portfolio. So what was the stakeholder? How did you engage the stakeholder? How did you manage their expectations? What was the influence of the stakeholder? Positive influence, negative influence? How do you manage their influence to ensure your portfolio success? So different stakeholder engagement strategy. Which stakeholder were key stakeholder? You can mention what were your expectations. How did you clearly define their expectations? How did you align the stakeholder expectations with the portfolio goals and objective? Many times there is a conflict between these stakeholder expectations. So how did you ensure that the individual stakeholder expectations do not control the portfolio goals and objectives? Rather, portfolio, organization expectations or organization goals and objectives are more important than individual stakeholder. So what was this conflict? Who are these stakeholders? What were, if it's a very senior stakeholder, what kind of influence this stakeholder has? Maybe you can also talk about your vendors, you can talk about your end customers, your competitors, and so on. So these are the 5 experience summary, friends, which you'll have to write. One last thing which I would like to tell you, and then we will end this session. Now you may have a question that how will I begin? So friends, what I will provide you some sample application. You can refer some past experience summaries, okay? And I will try to give you some experience summary from the relative domain if you are from a pharma domain or from the IT domain. So I will give you some similar applications so you can look into that. But do not copy paste complete application from there. That just for your reference purpose. Now, most important part, please hear me clearly in last 5 minutes and then we will end this session. Do not start your application online. First, what you'll have to do is open a Word file, a Microsoft Word file or any Word file. Just provide me your portfolio background information which we discussed earlier. That what is this portfolio, okay, where I have explained you to provide your portfolio goals, objectives. Just provide me this section, this section and the 5 experience summary section into a single Word file. Everybody in the world will get the same questions. The question will not change. Okay, so friends, in a Word file, I will again, do not fill the application online. In a Word file, just give me your portfolio background, only this background information and the 5 experience summary in a single Word file. Then I will review it. I will set up another one-to-one meeting with you. I will give you my feedback. I will enable the track change mode, so that I can you can accept or reject the changes recommended. We will jointly discuss again. And this is maybe it will take 3 iteration, 4 iteration, or some application maybe in a first iteration it may be approved. Only once I approve your application, then only you will start filing the application online and then you will submit. So friend, that's all I have in this particular PfMP application session. Any question here? Anybody? Let me ask Karthik, any question?
Kailash, it is very clear. Thanks for the session. It is very useful. I have few queries. I don't know it's the right forum to ask, or I can ask one-on-one with you. Basically, as you have gone through, basically you have gone through my profile. So where my company is a solution provider to various clients in Singapore. So basically, this will consider as a one portfolio, or individual client is going to be as a individual portfolio. How do I consider these things?
One solution. Consider you are giving a banking solution or a telecom solution. That solution will be one portfolio.
Okay, so it's according to the solution, right?
Yeah. Let's say you are providing a billing solution or you're giving credit card billing solution. Basis that is what is your portfolio. That what is your solution, what is your product, what is your service, that is what is your portfolio. Your individual customer, so you can refer as an example, for one customer, you can say that providing billing solution for Singapore Telecom. That could be fine. You
Okay.
getting me?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Okay. What is the next question, please? You
I'm
have
done.
couple of.
This is the only
You're
question.
done. Okay. Satya, do you have also any question?
No, Kailash, it's clear from my end.
Okay, great. So friends, Praveen, any question?
No, Kailash, it's very much clear, and I'll send the Word document.
Very good. And to you, Swapnil, any question?
No, sir, I'm good.
Thank you. So friends, thank you very much for attending this session. I will give you some sample application. I will give you this recording also. I will give you this presentation also. Just to conclude, you'll have to give me a Word file which should only have your experience section and the 5 experience summary. Do not try to fill your education background and all that detail. That will hardly take us 5 minutes to complete. The most important part is giving a portfolio background, that as per the structure which I told you, what is the portfolio problems and opportunity, what is the scope of the portfolio, what are the portfolio goals and objectives, what is the portfolio role, that what should come very clearly. Because if the panel review team is not able to understand your portfolio, then they will not able to understand also your experience summary. Because if I don't know what is your portfolio, then how will I understand your experience summary? So write a very good portfolio background, that what was the purpose of this particular portfolio, what goals and objectives the portfolio, how the portfolio got conceptualized, how the portfolio got in your organization, how it got triggered in your organization, whether it's because of external trigger from the customer, whether it is because of internal trigger. That is what I would like to see in a portfolio background. And the 5 experience summary, try to give how part is very important. How did you perform the strategy alignment? How did you perform the governance? What were the models? Based on the information which I shared, look into the sample application. And if you are stuck somewhere, do not hesitate to call me. We can discuss about your portfolio and I can give you lots more pointer to write a very good experience summary. So friends, let's say I hope by next Thursday, let's keep a timeline. Today is Saturday. Let's say by Thursday, use this Saturday and Sunday to give some draft to it. So it's fresh in your mind right now. So start working. So by Thursday, I will roughly expect your first draft. And next Saturday, Sunday, we can again do first review, and then we can, within next 10 days or 15 days, let's try to submit your application. With that, friends, thank you very much for this session, and looking forward for your draft really very soon. Please take care, and any question, please drop me a WhatsApp message or do call me directly offline. Thank you. Take care.
Thanks.
Thank you.